And so we have spent a lot of time in the last couple, 3 weeks talking about natural gas because it's the backbone of everything that's going to happen. And we know that there are people that, on the left that are not crazy about pipelines and bringing natural gas, and people on the
True.
right that are not crazy about renewables. The governor here is like all the above, and Senator Armstrong, Senator Armstrong has been
Hmm.
advocate of that. A couple of weeks ago, when I was out at the Capitol doing some other things, I ran into one of the big national advocates for renewable energy, and that's Jeff Clark with the power lines. I think he's out of Austin, Texas, and we just had just a moment to speak. And I just set a camera up and I said, "Tell us what the status is right now on renewables in Oklahoma and around the country with this natural gas, the discussion about natural gas, and those two going together for data center energy, that sort of thing." Here's what he had to say.
Absolutely. My name is Jeff Clark. I'm head of the Advanced Power Alliance. So we're here in Oklahoma City with citizens from across the state representing communities where investments are being made in advanced energy, which could include wind, solar, natural gas, or energy storage. And we're gathered to bring the voices of those communities who say we want more energy investment in Oklahoma. We want an all of the above approach in Oklahoma. We want more of everything to meet the demand that's coming from our energy system. Well, I think that, we're seeing now, the conflict in Iran, which, the United States has to protect our interests there. But what we're seeing immediately, a spike in natural gas prices, which has an effect on electricity prices. So we will immediately see impacts on our electric bills. We're seeing, Qatar, for example, having challenges because of those attacks, loading the LNG that the world needs coming from that country, making it, not only do we see price fluctuations, but we also see supply disruptions. And I think that this conflict, of course, number one, American energy independence. Our slogan is all American energy from all of our American states. We all have energy resources that we can provide. But by harnessing everything, we're able to get more gas on the ships to supply the world, where they don't have to rely on vulnerable and often hostile regimes. We get more gas production in Oklahoma to serve the world, but also the economic benefits that come with investments in wind, solar, storage, and other things. The other important thing, I think, as we look at that, we're looking at energy supply disruption, but we're also looking at tremendous energy demand that's coming. We're electrifying manufacturing, we're reshoring manufacturing, bringing companies back to the States. We have a growth in data centers and AI, and we're looking at, in many places in the country, a need for 3 times as much electricity on the grid as what we have today. And I believe that's another national security imperative, is to meet the energy demands of the future. And the only way to do that is to build the gas, build the wind, build the solar, build the storage, and make sure we have all of those resources working together to meet the demand of the future. Well, I think we have to, there are certain things we need to survive. We need food, shelter, water. We need energy. Energy not only drives the economy, but it's essential for life. And energy is far too important for politics. And we've had the same message for a long time, and that is that we would all be better off setting aside the politics. There's so much market opportunity, but also beyond that, there's so much need to meet demand that there's plenty of opportunity for all of us. And what I'm seeing more and more is I'm seeing oil and gas companies collaborating with us. We're drilling in the Permian, for example, using solar. We're using solar. We have Flint River or Flint Hills Resources has a refinery on the Gulf Coast that is now running on solar power. And so what we're seeing is we can lower the carbon emissions, which is important to some of our customers around the world. But more important than anything, we're able to cut the cost on our oil and gas production. And so the vision that we have is, again, energy is too important for politics. Let's put the politics aside. There's plenty of opportunity for everybody. We'd be stronger working together. I like working with the oil and gas industry, for example, on permitting issues, on transportation issues. We need power lines and pipelines. We need to be working together and be thinking about the future instead of trying to fight over what's on the table today. I think there have been historically, we have seen companies, in our membership, we have oil and gas producers who are members of my organization. We also have 6 of the 10 largest natural gas purchasers in the country are members of ours who are producing wind and solar and storage projects. So energy companies, our utilities, our Oklahoma utilities know very well that the best approach is a diversified approach where when natural gas spikes, you have a hedge and other resources. I think that message has begun to spread, and because of the demand, I think it's vitally important that we work together. I mean, it doesn't serve any industry's purpose, or it doesn't serve the interests of any industry if the United States is unable to compete over the next 10 to 15 years because we don't have the energy that our manufacturers and our data centers and our citizens need. And so I'm hopeful that part of what we're doing is I'm hopeful that we're having a bigger and better conversation. I'm happy to lend a hand in promoting natural gas and getting gas on the ships. I'm hoping that our oil and gas friends will work with us, and let's all work together on permitting reform and infrastructure and making sure that we have affordable, reliable, abundant energy to power life.
And that's Jeff Clark with Power Alliance out there on one of the power days that we've had out at the legislature. So interesting comments. And as you know, we have people out there right now that are advocating one or the other. People like Alan Armstrong and Jeff Clark and others like, no, we got all, and Kevin Stitt, all electrons for it. I keep going back to quotes that I love. One of them was Jim Roth about 2 weeks ago, who said electrons are not Democrat or Republican.
That's true.
Got to have them all. So
keep that in mind as we move forward.
Absolutely.